Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Cashflow Notepad. My name is Hui. I'm gonna be the host for today's show, and I'm super excited to bring you this recording of an epic event that we did on Friday. It was an epic panel about lead generation and lead follow up, and really anything related to real estate. We call it the 101 way to lead generate and lead follow up in real estate, and it's kind of opened my eyes is that real estate is such a big industry. There's like 101 way, there's like a million way that you can make money in real estate, right? From being a team leader, from doing rev share, from the stock that your company gave you, from doing development, or being a very successful real estate agent. That's like a million way for you to make money in real estate. So I'm super excited to play you this recording. This panel is just a mix of talent, from a part-time icon agent, to an awesome team leader, to a developer, and of course, everything in between. And just to show you that, the possibility of real estate, right? It doesn't matter what background, what language you are speaking, how many times you hear that you hear in real estate. If you speak fluent language, English or not, it doesn't matter. Real estate is gonna be there for you, right? If you're willing to work it. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start to play you this recording. If you're arriving, make sure you go back and listen to it a second time. There's going to be a lot of note, there's going to be a lot of nugget, there's going to be a lot of tool that these top producer, the top 5% in EXP, they discuss. And they just honestly give you their secret. So make sure to write down whatever they say, and then pick one or two nugget from it, right? Don't pick all of it because you won't be able to apply all of it. Pick one or two nugget for you to apply into your own business this year. So without further ado, welcome to the show.
New agents in the room, you can definitely reach out and talk to me. I was new, but I'm glad that I was able to be pretty successful so far. Knock on wood. I was able to make 2 times icon, which is the top 4% at the company. And then let me look at my cheat sheet. But I do have a full-time job working in accounting and finance, and shifting more to real estate. I have a little organization of 70 rock star at EXP, and I'm also a mom of 2. So team moms, if you have a kiddos and your schedule is crazy, then I totally on your page. So together we can definitely find a way to keep it in real estate. But next coming up is Joanna. I'd love to have her introduce about herself to everybody as well.
Thank you, May. Thanks to everyone. Well, first thing, I don't like to speak in public. I'm learning, so I hope we can provide so much value for you guys because, of course, it's a Friday, so we really appreciate your time. So a little bit about me. I've been 2 times Icon agent. I've been with EXP for 5 years now. I'm a realtor. Right now, I'm a team leader of J Signature Group, so I'm growing my team. I am from Colombia. So for those of you that maybe are not from this country, I want to give you a little bit of my experience because it's not easy when you come here, but everything is possible. So I will let you know a little bit about that. I want to show you about following, growing your social media presence. Within 3 months, I went from 3,000 to 22,000 followers on Instagram, which is not that hard. So I'll give you some tips on that. I have 17 agents under EXP on my revenue group. And right now I'm focusing in new construction, so I'm new construction specialist. And now your turn, Amy.
It's so late. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. My name is Amy Landman. I'm your North leader. I live in the Woodlands. I am a degreed school teacher and mom of 2, wife of 1. Jump in the corner. He's also the driver and bodyguard, all the good stuff. So neat story. I started with EXP 4 years ago. I was a solo agent. I was hustling, doing the mom thing, selling about 25 to 30 homes a year, making a great 6-figure income. Found EXP, and they said, hey, if you sell 2.8 million a year in 20 deals, guess what? We'll give it all back. I was like, done. So from year 1, Icon, 4 times, please. Yes, so not to love you. It's fun.
Sorry.
In January 20, we know that big year, right? The COVID year. I started my production team. Everyone was scared of doing anything. I was like, no, let's grow it even virtually. So I had at that point 21 agents in the group. I had 0 on my team. I currently have an expansion team in Austin, a large group here in the greater Houston market. I just signed on my 13th agent today. Overall, I have 152 agents. So this is life-changing. Guys, life-changing. My income has 5x in 4 years. So, you're up.
I mean, it's hard to follow all these OGs. I'm the young blood, I guess. I got here October 1st. I moved to EXP, and man, I have to say, like, the juice is worth the squeeze here because it's legit. No matter what anybody says, it's something you have to experience. But I focus in development, commercial, residential, new development sales, and we also do development underwriting for many projects. So I collateralize my background in economics from the University of Houston to help kind of expedite certain processes and create automated processes for everyone. I have a tech company based in Austin. We build a bunch of different software, some real estate stuff, and we have some really cool real estate tools that we're actually working on integrating with EXP now. Outside of that, I'm partnered in a YouTube channel. We have 2.53 million subscribers. So I do a lot of the back end work and fundraising for the creatives. So I have a little bit of experience on the growth and the dynamics behind that. But I'm looking forward to bringing it kind of to EXP and utilizing EXP's ability to grow your income, 1, organically, and 2, passively, to the table and just make it all melt together.
Love it.
Yeah.
About 2.5 mil. I want to grow up like everybody else.
Also, I told my group get to 100. I'm gonna send her to the more expensive hotel to me. So give me a card for that. And if y'all don't know Joanna, she's a different person when she parties. So wait, if you're talk about it, together, what part she's way on. Me too. And I need my partner, and it's one for keeping me accountable. And Michael, welcome to the team. I guess we're very lucky to have you, right? So. Just a little bit about me. I've seen from my next week already, the final today. All-time icon agent, can we say, top 5% in the company. You can call me the research junkie, but I can handle everything. I can find my way here in EXP. So we have long-term rental, we have, I do massive apartment investing. Short-term rental is another cool thing right now. We're doing, and I know my partner in crime is Nadia Alva. Then we just closed our 55 group together, right? 58 group together in the past 2 years. So you can call me a real estate junkie, but that's what I do with real estate all around, right? But today you won't hear from me. You're gonna hear from all this time over here. So back to the basics of movement. I know we're going to talk about it like in ready today. But May, what differentiates you, from the average agent, right? What is the one thing that sets you apart from the other agents in the marketplace, and especially, your part-time agent, right? What is the one thing that hit you to where you are today?
I work really hard. So it's funny, but sometimes my client would see my email coming out at 1 or 2 a.m. and they actually notice that. But I work really hard and make it happen with my current, time management, because I have a full-time job. So definitely, if you ask me about one thing of what, it helps me a lot in the last 3 years is leverage. So I would find a way to leverage as much as possible when it comes to having somebody partner with me, working together for the same deal, closing the deal together, or having my team, or some Rockies agents help me show houses, help me host open houses, or you can simply just leverage technology. And I'm sure that Joanna can share more later, but we have Katie Court, and when you have a good technology, so things that you can basically, instead of doing by yourself, now we're gonna have technology, you have a system, who's gonna, help you a lot when it comes to keeping track of your business. Yeah, so that will be one thing.
Say mấy mọi người vậy đó, but she I thought that back to back. I thought that the agent in the entire country.
We do have more and more people, fueling it right now, even with this, market.
But yeah, Joanna, what is the one thing that sets you different from everybody else?
Okay, I think more than setting out myself different is what do I do to be successful? And I think like for most of us, the main thing is motivation. Because if you don't have motivation, you're not gonna do anything of the things that you need to do every day. So, you have to create habits to really start, like, whenever you talk to the lead, when you start reaching out to people, you have to be on the right mindset because, if you just wake up and, roll around and you don't know what to do, that happens to all of us, I think. And I, cultivate this habit daily of gratitude whenever I wake up because, I'm gonna see the world differently. I think we are all like set up or wired to be negative and this world is not that easy. So if you wake up and you just watch like bad news and that's your mindset, that's the way that you're gonna wake up in your daily basis and the same way you're gonna, see the world and approach everybody that you talk to. Because, we're talking about lead generation and the main thing for me here is like to really tell everyone like everything is about mindset and how you motivate yourself every day and what habits you need to do that. I'm a crazy like Tony Robbins fan. If any one of you here know about him, if not, just look him up on YouTube. He's really, really, really good. I think he really helps you with that mindset because I believe the agents that I have been able to help with, that's the main thing. They sometimes don't feel motivated and the same way they are not going to be able to convert or to really relay the message to other people. So I would say that's something that I differentiate myself to be able to grow and keep going.
And like I said, are different, right? And especially for new agent, you might think like, hey, mindset, this stuff is so cliche, hey, just show me the money, show me how to generate lead. But really, especially for Joanna, and remember, we have a little conversation before the panel, right? You right now compared to you 5 years ago is two completely different person, right? Every single time I see you, I see improvement. And I believe let's just start with the mindset, right? And then the how to the lead generate, how to talk with people is different, but it just start with your mindset first. So, yeah, you look so different from now, even last week.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very day out, growing. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer it two parts.
Please.
If you're a rookie, I think when I was a rookie, I set myself apart by being extremely consistent. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a mom. I was 40 when I started real estate, and people said I was crazy. There were 3,000 realtors in the Woodlands, but I woke up every day and talked to people every day, and I told myself I have to have at least 100 conversations a week to make it happen. Well, I would have been rookie of the year at Keller, but I left them. So I think consistency, I know it sounds so simple, guys, but I'm not kidding. My team is on fire right now, and the reason why is I have a team full of open-minded rookies that are consistent. Now, if you're an experienced person, you're going towards that leadership role, I think what we have to do as leaders to make ourselves stand apart is open up our mind and don't get stuck in a rut doing the same thing you've always done. Consistency is part of it, but growing and learning. You have to read books. You have to listen to people that are smarter than you. You have to surround yourself. You have to be humble and open up your mind to new things. I have opened up my mind to things I never thought I would. And the moment I did that, my business exploded. And I'll tell you one thing, I let things go. I leverage it out. I do not control everything. And the minute I started pulling back on my production, my team exploded. So now instead of one Amy running around like a crazy person, there's 13 of us. Okay, do you think I make more money off one me or 13 people that I'm duplicating to be like me?
Like that.
Yeah, you're up, man.
So to kind of go off what she said, being able to humble yourself is really key and important because No matter how successful you feel that you are, there are gaps. And there are places that you're weak, there are places that you're strong. You have to be able to connect with the people who will fill those gaps and allow you to grow. And a lot of times it's listening and talking and taking their advice. I think that's a big thing in business across the board. Outside of that, my background in data has really helped me, so I've collateralized that into helping fulfill, I guess, a gap, creating a different value add as a realtor to developers, to different people in the market, whether it's an investor or a home user looking to do renovations. There's lots of different tools you can use and kind of implement using simple things like Excel and just create automated solutions for them. So you're expediting decision making, you're helping them research quickly, avoid costly mistakes, avoid wasting money, and they can appreciate that. So, that's kind of the differentiator for me today as the market and the individuals who are buying are getting smarter.
Nice.
Wow, so I need leverage, I need time management, system, I have, I need processes, I think, a lot of the common thing, the software user is that, then, I do it all, right? If you need something, you need to leverage it down, if I help, you block time for important things. So speaking about, like kind of plugging in, managing your calendar, I know we plug in on a lot of things, right? Especially with my home, you have so many things that's going on. So what is one or two things that you think that all the audience here, they need to plug in, they need to talk to their calendar this year? It could be ESP related, it could not be ESP related. What is the one thing that everybody here needs to plug in order for them to be successful and generating more leads?
Well, I think one thing is there's an abundance of realtors. So you have to differentiate yourself from a lot of these realtors. Once again, you have to humble yourself. You have to, instead of spending time complaining about knowing, take that time and allocate it to learning something that you don't know and using that to improve your skill set. And working with others, being open to others' advice, that's a big thing. And what I try to do is collateralize that. And I had a lunch with Tal and I kind of talked about this. And it's in this industry now, you almost have to become a creator. You can generate leads and you can call and you can do all of those things that a lot of realtors are doing, and you can be more successful than them 100%. But if you can find ways to create the leads, you're creating the developments, you're creating what will be built and having control of it from the raw land all the way through the development process to the sales side, then you are building this incredible downline with multiple years of work ahead of you. So I try to collateralize myself and what I can bring to the table. And instead of charging a certain fee for that development work, I reduce my development fee in lieu of being able to list everything. And then I take those listings to myself and my team. And once again, EXP, the team dynamic here is very, very strong. kvCORE, in my opinion, as a tech person, is the best software you can have. There's lots of places that try to imitate it, and they make the mistake of switching from what they are good at as real estate into something that they're not familiar with, which is technology. The best thing to do to expedite it is to take something that's already working and built by the people who know how to build it and implementing it to your agents, not necessarily beta testing things on your agents. So kvCORE creates a very strong tool as long as you, once again, take that time to learn to use it. A lot of people, oh, it's so much work, I have to do this. Take that time to go learn to use it. Instead of watching a YouTube video about whatever, unless it's on our channel, you must have, but if it's anything else, take some of that time and allocate it to learning. kvCORE, they provide so much for you to learn off of, and in many different ways to learn it. So there's no excuse. The excuse at this point is you're not taking the initiative to do it. And I think of all things that's kind of offensive is wasted potential. You have the ability, you have the time, you're all sitting here for a reason. You want to make money, you want to be successful. Take that time. Don't waste your potential and go learn and use these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna add in a little bit on that, it's just a tool that we have, we're gonna talk about KV Core a little bit. I was on a call earlier this morning and, if you are already with EXP, we have EXP revenue, we have Postman, we have Home Story, we have Express Offer, we have like 10 things that, you can just sign up, get 35 for, and then the lead is gonna round over to you, right? Even if you post in common on Workplace, one of my success story, I get an $800,000 lead just by hanging out on Workplace, right? So kind of focus on the channel that we generate the lead. And, come back to this question because I want to, finish this up. What is the one thing that you think that everybody here need to have on their calendar this year, right?
One thing to add on your calendar this year? That's a hard question.
You need something, and can you help?
Yeah, you got something?
So just so you know, I didn't share any of these questions to the panel. I met them here and, I have to answer the question.
I'm gonna challenge each of you to find one thing in your direct community that you're passionate about.
There you go.
If you're passionate about breast cancer, feeding people, heroes, find the one thing that speaks to your soul, get involved, you will find business. Audit your life and cut out 3 things that are distractors.
I like that.
So cut 3 and find one that fuels your soul.
I gotta quickly touch on that because I just come back from the goal setting event. So, here's a three, right? So there's 3 things that you're gonna start this year, 3 things you need to continue this year, and 3 things you need to stop doing this year, right? So go back, open up, look at that. Right now, the 3 things that you need to start, 3 things that you continue to do, that's gonna produce well, and then 3 things you need to stop doing, right? Eating, sugar, for example. My bad. Talking to myself.
I know, very helpful after today, that meeting. So I can have the answer now. So it's the beginning of the year, it's 2023, right? And at the beginning of the year, you always want to grow, you want to be different than last year. So one thing in order for you to really grow and be different than last year is to do something that you haven't done much before or you never done before. So I would say do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. So for me, for example, if I feel like being more on video is gonna help me generate more business, it's gonna be uncomfortable to be on my, be in front of a camera or, to video myself, listen to what I talk. But I know that if it's help my business, I'm gonna challenge myself, I would say, and do that, even though it's maybe uncomfortable. But I'm sure that it's gonna help your business, it helps you in general to grow.
Okay, so I think maybe some of you have heard like proximity is power. And I believe that that's one of the main things for me to being able to grow is surround myself with people that are doing better than me. So, who is a great example? I really reach out to him because I want to be like him. He's really great. He's really there to help you. And I think one of my mistakes when I started is that I was trying to do everything on my own or just trying to figure out everything when there were so many people that, if I just reach and I focus on what I wanted to accomplish, they were gonna be there to help me all the way. And I just spent time, struggling, doing everything with it delayed my process. It could be faster. So, just don't be afraid to talk to people, to ask people. If somebody says no, just find the next person because there are, for example, here at EXP, no, it's not because it's EXP, but this model has really helped each other to really share all our knowledge. And we're not like, we don't want to keep anything secret because we're helping and growing each other. So just find the person, find those role models of people that you want to be like, and I think that's going to help you grow a lot.
And let's say I cannot, nobody can say better than that. Thank you, Joanna. Coming to the next question. So could you share with me one thing, lead generation related, one thing that you start doing this year that's not work for you, and one thing that you actually stop doing that is not working for you? Anybody feel free to come in. I know, Joanna, you can talk about KV Core a little bit because I know you're so good at that.
What is working and what is not working?
Share with us one lead generation method that you work with your candidates really work for you, and one thing that you kind of try and didn't work for you. And what do you learn from it?
Okay, so for me right now it's Instagram. I really like started like copying other people and it's not that hard. For example, I'm doing new construction, you can go on my profile and copy me, that's fine. And I use a lot KD Core, so I try to systematize everything. So for example, I started just doing some reels, so I just go to a new construction area, something that it helped me a lot to is narrow down what you want, have clarity on what's your ideal client. Because when I started, I was just running around all over Houston. Houston is huge, and driving around, and it's not gonna be the most efficient use of your time. So first, have clarity on what you want before even starting. So just sit down, see what is your ideal client. If you want to work with teachers, with moms, just choose that makes you passionate and start focusing on that. So I started focusing on new construction and recording videos. There are templates on Instagram that you can just plug your videos, but you need to do it consistently. Because if you do one video and then in 2 weeks another video, and then you're like, oh, this doesn't work, and then you have this mindset that it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. So at least you need to try something for like a couple of months, 3 months. Find somebody that can help you. If it's Instagram or if it's YouTube, just find the experts on people that have already done it and just ask for help. So that's really working. And on KD Core, you can systematize everything. So every time the person texts me, automatically KD Core responds to them with the list of properties, because we wanna also answer to the list with their, if we're promising to send some information, we need to respond. So KD Core really allows me to just do that right away, and then I call the lead. And not working, I think like every lead generation source works as long as you do it consistently. Based on my experience, I used to do Facebook, it worked, but everything is just consistency. So the only thing I would say is just focus in one thing, because if you try to focus on everything at the same time, you're gonna, end up doing nothing right. So just focus on one thing and the thing that you really like and you really enjoy, and just do it consistently.
Absolutely. Abby.
Well, I'm probably one of the oldest people on the panel for sure. So I'm in the Facebook world. Okay. I hire people to do Instagram, but I'm in the Facebook world, and I will say that Facebook brings me leads every week.
Wow.
So for me, it's consistently adding stories daily. I'm doing my best to do it at least 5 days a week. So my store is open. That's what my coach says. My store is open 5 days a week. And the other thing that I'm doing this year is really focusing on creating duplication through my agents. So, and I tell them, I match your energy. So this is, EXP is all about growth, right? So we're gonna reach out to people and help them. So I say, I have 152 of them right now. And I say, if you want to learn and do a real estate, then you contact me, and then I will match your energy. So I had an agent today contact me, and she said, I want to sit with you for 2 hours and I want to learn. And I was like, let's do it. And guess what? We're going to be selling lots of land together. So I would say sometimes taking it out of yourself. EXP is a lot about leverage, right? So use the platform we have, use the collaborative efforts, and to leverage.
Yeah.
And what's not working is being alone.
Nice. I
No,
love that.
be with people and duplicate, and it's awesome.
Yep, I love that. Michael.
This year, one of my big pushes is collateralizing what I know in the social media world into real estate. So creating content via YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, and finding correlation and causation. So engagement, interaction, proper tagging, proper thumbnails, proper evaluation of your videos, your A/B testing, everything that goes into these videos. So that as you post, you're not just posting for no reason. You want there to be a substantial incline in everything that you do video to video. And if there isn't, you need to look at that video and understand why, what happened here, what's the problem, and how do I fix it to make it better. So I want to kind of take what I know in that realm and be hyper-focused in creating content centered indirectly, but directly to real estate. Now that sounds weird, but it's performance metrics and what performs well, what doesn't perform well. How to avoid marketing fatigue and different things like that. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool opportunities to put out some really fun content, but at the same time, using that content as a mechanism to promote and to create engagement so that your long form, you can take parts of long form and use it for short form, but your long form will generate followings for your short form. And it just creates this beautiful cycle. So it's things that you can take to your clientele and things like that to show them what you're doing, how you're growing, and things like that. And then I'm gonna take a page out of your book. I'm gonna try and find a couple of things that I'm wasting time on and try and cut those out. I think that's a really good thing to do. So
I have a question for you too.
sure.
Okay, I have a question about YouTube. I watch it, I don't know anything about it, but my question is, I recently learned about EdgeRank. Now, is EdgeRank, that have anything to do with YouTube as well, or is that specifically for the social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook?
So for YouTube, you use Social Blade.
Okay.
And Social Blade is directly connected to your YouTube, and they're starting to connect the Instagram accounts and everything like that. So I believe that there's many different platforms you can use. Social Blade is the one that we use for primarily YouTube because it keeps track of daily interactions, your views, upticks. I mean, everything that you want to see on a micro scale for your channel is going to be held there. You can integrate all of your social media there, but then there's a bunch of different places that you can evaluate your different social media tools.
Okay, I'm gonna tell them what they. Okay, guys, here's a tip. I just took a 5-hour social media class. For those of you that do Instagram or Facebook, mentally note EdgeRank. I'm not kidding. Look it up.
What is it?
What is it called? EdgeRank. If you can figure out what it's Edge, EDGE, rank RANK. Okay, that is very powerful. And if you're getting views on certain things and not on others, it's because your EdgeRank could be lower. So just look into it. We can talk more about that later. But I just had a big epiphany about EdgeRank. And it's the other thing I learned that's really powerful is do not link. We're realtors. We love to link HAR in Facebook. If you put a link of HAR in your Facebook, it kills your EdgeRank.
No.
So what do you do?
Upload it right now.
No, don't upload it. No, you can type in the address. You can say DM me. But if you put a link to an external website,
Oh, yeah.
Facebook slaps your hand and your EdgeRank goes poof. I learned that from this guru. He's like a Facebook, Instagram guru.
Yeah, because they want to keep the content within the website, not outside.
But so many of us, at least I used to, put the little link in there because it's easier to click, right?
Yeah.
And then you're wondering why you're not getting views on that one. They kill it. It goes into Facebook channel.
Also,
That's why you wanna use KDB Core.
Yeah.
It's more tech.
Right?
We actually open up on a question, and then just before really quick, and one way to share one is one information that is working for you right now. And what have you find that doesn't work, what do you learn from it?
Yeah, so everybody has been sharing about the importance of social media, right? I think as a realtor, it's so important for you to build your brand, especially on social media. We just cannot be a secret agents out there. So find the network that you really enjoy, if you really like Facebook or Instagram, it's worked very, very well for me, just like how Andy shared. And for me, for example, if TikTok is not my thing, I tried it, but I feel like it consumes so much time and the conversion rate is low. So I just have to save it aside and maybe, revisit it in the future. So if something is not working for you, and I agree with Joanna now, how you should focus on something that doing very well for you. So for me, I just keep for different networks that, I try to generate. So it's gonna be Facebook. I'm gonna focus on stories either on Facebook or Instagram, and then Instagram and just, there's different way that you can run ads on KDB Core and that generate a lot of leads too. Cold calling is not my thing. So I try it, I don't like it, I hate it. So I just gotta buy it.
So, and then we can open up the content into the tool that really say you directly. So I'm just gonna start with that, right? Because I'm not sure if everybody is like me. I probably subscribe to like 100 things right now. We have Zoom, we have Boblock, we have Repurpose.io, we have OneUp. We have different things we subscribe to. And sometimes like we don't use it, sometimes we use it. So the panel, feel free to jump in, collaborate with each other. What tool are you using right now that is more effective for you, and how do you utilize it, right? So for me, I love Trello. I can talk about Trello. Go ahead. Since you have started. Okay.
I use that. KV4 to the core, and the reason why is because I've tried so many different things, and I do what I call a 90-day run. So I pay the money for 90 days, and then I'm like, oh, that didn't work. Spend all that money. And when I realized that we're already spending $85 a month for EXP anyway, why would I not use the platform they give us that is so professionally created? It's integrated to our smartphones. It's easy, it's duplicatable, it's already in our interface. So why would we try to reinvent the wheel? For me, I'm just gonna use the current wheel and just make it go faster.
Love it. Michael, I know your toolbox is full, so share us a tool.
Honestly, the tool I use the most is Excel. I build a lot of templates in Excel. I plan trips in Excel. Excel is kind of an acquired taste. It does take a little bit of time to learn, but there's simple ways to start utilizing it today, simple formulas. And as you progress and become more experienced, you can move out of just your simple equal, 7 + 7 is 14, into nested if statements and integrating VLOOKUPs and index match to pull data from different sheets. Wow. And what it does is it allows you to export information, even from CoStar, from HAR. You can copy and paste it into these templates and it'll automate everything for you. So you can do 100 homes and you need to run these numbers based on these values. As you export it, it'll just populate everything for you. You just have to invest the time in understanding it and learning it. But it's pretty valuable and it's a really quick way to get a lot done. But we will be taking some of these tools and moving them from Excel into consumer-facing mobile apps for y'all to have access to this year. So I had a call with James Wong the other day, working on some ideas for commercial and creating some dynamic tools for commercial and learning commercial on a entry basic level, so you can get familiar with specific terms and equations and metrics and how to get them, where to find them, and what they need. So I think that that's going to be a big advantage for a lot of people. And if you want to learn and move into that space, that's a great place to start. But if you don't really want to, you don't have to. You can stay focused on residential. It's also a great way to make a lot of money.
Joanna, besides technical, any tool and you use that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also always use KV4. It's amazing. Everything that you can do. Like, for example, anytime I have a new video or listing, I have 1,000 people on my database. I just can send a mass text or a mass email. So I, big on creating templates that way you can communicate, and KV4 allows you to, let's say, put lead name, so it brings the name, so it's personalized. And the other tool that KV4 has is like BombBomb, that I'm really pushing myself to do it, because definitely I'm not the person that loves to be in camera. I was 1 year recording videos by myself, and I never post them until I met this guy. You met him. He's on YouTube. He loves YouTube, and he pushed me okay, do it. And once you do it, you start feeling more comfortable, and it's not scary anymore. Just do it. Don't be afraid. And using BombBomb, it's already integrated. So we have a KV4 app, and it's on my phone, so I can basically say, hey, anything. So it's more personalized. People see your face. People are gonna like you. I did cold calling. I did, leads that were cold, and it's not fun. It's hard. I did it. But it's so much easier with social media, because people just call you and they're like, hey, Joanna, they're so happy to talk to you. And you're like, oh, why you're so friendly. So definitely social media is the way to go. It's gonna make your life so much easier. And I tell you from experience, because I tried both. Yeah. And it's so much easier. Yeah.
So good stuff. There you go.
Yeah, so one thing that I would like to add on is to use the app or the website called Canva, because you know that we have to design a lot of stuff, and it's really boring if you just post a picture of the house and just have a very long caption, nobody's gonna read it. And that use Canva, they have a lot of templates already, you can try out with a free version of it, you don't have to pay anything. Basically, for example, at the screen, right, you just put in your pictures in, and the fonts, the pictures, the colors, everything is already in Canva. So you can use that for a lot of things. For example, you can use it to share your new listing. You can use that to share your open house on social media. You can also use it for like send out newsletters to your data or your CRM, you know. So it was like something more catchy and it gets people attention. So people actually read and see what you put in there.
Yeah, I have one more. And May, this may help you as well, but when you're doing your social media content creation, it gets very difficult because you're managing so many different social media platforms. I use Social Pilot, and Social Pilot it kind of organizes all of your social media, so you can sit down Sunday and plan your week's posts. And you'll have your entire week's posts ready to go for all different social media platforms. And it gives you a different layout for each platform so that you can make sure it fits and everything's gonna look correct. And it avoids having like the TikTok logo in your YouTube shorts or Instagram reels and posts, which can impact your shareability.
And your
So-
metric.
Yeah. So you can avoid that by having tools like this to kind of help you upload, and then you can also go in and still upload supplemental things as you want. But it's a paid for program, but if you have a couple of people, you could have multiple people use it. And if you're using 3 or 4 accounts, you can each have your own 4 accounts attached, get your planning, get your cycle ready, and then, you know, makes life pretty easy.
I thought it was. Social pilot.
I have a great app for everyone. It's called Palm Agent One.
I'll make it one.
Palm Agent One, PALM Agent One. So the great thing about this is it's linked to a title company. And so it gives you all kinds of net sheets. So if someone comes in and says, my budget is 400,000, I'd like to put 10% down. What do you think that my monthly payment would be? You simply can plug in the numbers and it calculates it. It also does a beautiful graphic. Some of it is up to 20 to 30 page reports you can send in a matter of a minute. So it makes it look like you've been just studying and analyzing and doing all of this just analytical work for hours, when really it's like 2 minutes.
It's really good. Yeah.
Anybody have experience trying Jasper or ChatGPT lately? Okay, I absolutely love that because it's usually took me like 30 minutes to write this description. Now you go to Jasper, ChatGPT, and you write
What?
Jasper.
Jasper.
Jasper,
How do you spell it?
Jasper, Jasper.
Oh, Jasper?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just you know what captions to put on. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
ChatGPT is a big one right now, and you basically give a command like, you know, hey Jasper, you know, hey, give me a description on a 2-bedroom, with a pool, you know, in a particular subdivision. Hit it, and then it's give you like, you know, like a bunch of description. You can copy it and you can optimize it. So instead of spending 30 minutes on what to write, you know, I spend like 5-10 minutes to write a list description, and the AI is right better than me writing, right? With no grammar, with no grammar error. I think AI is going to play a big role in a lot of our industry, and I can already tell when it comes to real estate, you know, like, anything you can ask AI, like, hey, what is the rate of X, Y, and Z? AI is going to split the answer like Y and Z. Yeah, so really, you know, you can ask them like anything. It's crazy.
There is another one that I would like to share, it's called HomeBot. HomeBot is amazing, it's really good, it's for sellers. Or even buyers, but I use it a lot for sellers because basically you send them a report and it shows them like, hey, how much can you rent your home for? What happens if you pay this much on your mortgage? You can rent this home for an Airbnb, and it really provides a lot of value, and it's like a follow-up because monthly it sends a report and it's very, very nice. So
Yeah. For what we actually need a lender to sponsor you, so I don't know if anybody with a lender, I don't know.
oh, a lender, yeah.
Yes, with the lender, they can sponsor you, you need a sponsor to get it to home lot. But after that, man, I actually get a couple of leads out from Hobart, right? Because, you know, they have a AI behind it. They can predict like, hey, when to sell, this is sell by just on the number of clicks and, you know, the reply with the platform.
And it runs the CRM and it's pretty accurate most of the time, very accurate. So you already kind of save some time there.
Or, I would say 100% honesty. Yeah, so Hobart is a good one as well. Anything else, out of your mind? Okay, well, so moving on to the, what I call is really important, right? You know, y'all hear a lot of language here, but it's all about execution, about action that you can put into, you know, your business, right? You can hear, you can be here, you can have fun, but in the end, if you go home and you don't do anything, and, you know, it's just nothing is gonna work with the business. So I want to ask the panel here, you know, do you have any tips that you want to share, you know, when it comes to idea execution? You know, because, you know, you don't want to sit on the idea for too long. So what is some of the tips and tricks that you can share to put an idea into action right away? Michael, go ahead, and then we'll start backward.
So with what I'm trying to do this year, I mean, it's relative to where you're at in your career. What do you feel that you need to learn? What are you comfortable being? What situation you're comfortable being put in so that you can learn, I guess, the next steps. I think that there's a way to make money doing the linear transaction, but to take a step out of your comfort zone and go and sit in tours for new construction and understand what does new construction really mean? Is it, I'm selling a new house? Well, what's behind the walls? What's going into the wiring? What's the warranty mean? What is, you know, quarter round? What are these different pieces that put this home together? So when you articulate it to buyers, you know, they're more enticed. And that starting point can actually begin from the ground. So once the lot's developed, you go to your slab base or you go vertical. That's a great place to start learning because below the slab's all of your plumbing, your electrical, your, you know, everything that you need, your water, and then slab up is what you're going to live in. So getting an understanding from slab to finished product will give you an advantage when you're one, communicating it to buyers, but also two, if you're looking to gain new construction clientele to the list, then you can talk and be somewhat educated on the process, the timing, the type of materials and things like that. Once you kind of feel comfortable with that, then the step from either further back is understanding the analytics behind it. So how do you quantify the purchase price? And then what does the purchase price of the land look like compared to the final value of the home? And how do you kind of wrap your head around all of this? So you can work your way backwards. And that's kind of what I did in the industry is I came in doing just the regular real estate stuff and then started utilizing what I know, analytics and economics. And, you know, economics is playing a big role today because of, I mean, the economy. I mean, understanding what is inflation? How does that impact interest rates? How does it impact the economy? How verbiage like micro versus macro, and how do you utilize that not just in economics, but in everyday life? Little things like that, monetary and fiscal policy, what to keep eyes on so that you can see trends coming to the market, so you can prepare your clients, prepare your, I mean, buyers and sellers. Your sellers, you can say, hey, look, the market's about to get hot. You may want to wait. If it's a down time, Houston's market cycles are very consistent, with the exception of 2020. You can kind of tell them, and by giving them that advice, you're helping them out. You're going to make them more money, and you can quantify that value based on what prices homes sell for at certain times of the year. And then for the seller or the buyer side, you can do the same thing. Educate them on when is the best time to buy, why, who to work with, what are the numbers, what does this look like, can you refinance, how do you negotiate money toward this, can you buy down rates from whatever. There's a bunch of different ways that you can bring different value. So that's kind of what
Wow, okay. The other thing I need is, I need to get Michael out for a coffee.
we have
Good question. Andy, what is the best way to put an idea into action? So execution. How do you do that without sitting on it?
Okay, so in my teacher brain, this is what I would teach my students. If you're gonna make a plan to execute, you actually have to look at the complete goal or expectation that you set for yourself. So how are you gonna know what you need and want if you haven't made a plan as far as like this year, I want to quantifiably make X amount of dollars, which Doing simple math divides out into so many homes, right? So when you figure out what your expectation of yourself is for the entire year, starting from now all the way until December, write that down, share that with your sponsor. And then what you do is work backwards. You divide it by 12, you break it down by a month, you divide it by a month, break it down by a week, you divide it by a week, break it down by how many days you're willing to work. I don't like to work 7 days a week, so I don't divide by 7. I like to have a family day. So it's basically up to you, right? And then you say, okay, in those weeks, I'm gonna work 40 hours a week, and I've got to accomplish this. When you break it down like that, it shows you how much you have to do. Now, we're in EXP, so what's really, really important, guys, is once you have that mathematical formula in place, and I'm not a math person, by the way, but it does work. The second part of it is, how many people do I want to help? People meaning realtors, right? Because in EXP, part of who we are is collaborative business partners. So if you say, I want to help no one, then your revenue will be 0 times 12, and you will make no money, and that will not help your end goals. Now, if you say, I want to help one, and every month you're giving yourself, I want 1 agent a month. How am I going to get to 1 agent a month? That means I need to talk to at least 4 people a month, right? So now, how do I talk to 4 people? You go networking, you have coffee, and when you have that quantifiable amount, it's so easy to break it down, right? So how have I grown from 0 to 152 in 4 years? I have not focused on recruiting, you guys. I simply help other people. I host lunch and learns, I help panels. I teach how to write contracts. Agents show up. I have people asking to join me every week, and I'm not even making calls at this point. They're all coming to me. It's crazy. It's insane. But the point is, I sit down with my husband and we make our goal. And someone told me, Amy, a goal is a fancy word. It should be the expectation of yourself. And I'm like, okay, I expect myself to do the following. So key is everybody's going to have a different expectation, right? So if you're a single person, talk to yourself. If you're married, talk to your spouse. You guys, if you don't talk to your spouse, money will divide you. Okay, I've been married 28 years. If you don't talk to them, money will divide you. It's very powerful.
Really know. Joanna, I did execution.
Thank you. So, okay, one of the words that sentence that I learned in this seminar that I went recently is complexity is the enemy of execution. And I think that's for all of us who sometimes want to make everything so perfect that we never do it and we never get started. So sometimes it's just, do it, like push yourself to do it and take action. So I think Michael, Amy, may have really, really great points. So, the main thing is take action. So right now, I think everybody should take like 1 minute based on everything that you learned so far. What is the thing that you're going to start, focusing on? What actions are you going to take from this conversation? Because as we said, this is a Friday, you're spending your time here. And the goal is not just to live like, okay, nothing happened. The goal is for you to take action on the things that you want to do. So I would say, let's take a minute, and you guys, from everything that you heard, things that maybe called your attention or you want to start implementing on your business, let's, take a minute and write that down.
So Joanna, I'm gonna piggyback off you. When I train my agents, I call that an HLA. It is a high level activity. Busy work is a low level activity. Okay, I do not do paperwork. I don't, because it's a low level activity. I don't do it. I hire someone to do it. I am in front of people. If you're in front of people, you're going to make deals happen. You guys, when the market changes, but people are still icons, why is that? It's because we continue to do high level activities, even when the market is at a low level. Think about that, okay? Gloom, doom, the world's ending. I'm still selling the house. I don't know about the rest of these fools.
All right, I did execution.
Okay, so I know that everyone is busy and, things can get in one ear and get out to another ear. So what really helped me, is that I'm gonna make it simple. So if I have a goal, I'm gonna break it down to smaller tasks. And when I have some me time, either in early morning, or if you like a 9 hours, you can stay, at least have 15 minutes, 30 minutes, just yourself, and look at what you want, look at your task, and then go ahead and note it down, write it down right away. Just don't let ideas, fly in your head. Write it down either, on your planner, on your notes, on your board, on your vision board. If you're using Google Calendar, go ahead and put in a reminder in the Google Calendar. Just so Google Calendar just keep reminding you that you gotta do this, in order to finish task one, in order to move to goal one. And then, you can also use a reminder, on your phone, just kind of have something that keep you accountable, when it comes to technology wise. And then also find your accountability partner, because sometimes it's gonna be boring, or it's gonna be a little demotivated sometimes if you just go along. But if you have somebody that kind of walk along the path with you, either, your partner, your friend, your mutual friend, whoever, when I just share your goal to your partner, let's say if I share to Joanna, I'll say, I wanna commit to at least, post 2 or 3 reels on Instagram per week. And she's gonna give me accountability for that, and she's gonna check on me. If I told me that I'm gonna go and talk to a certain people at different events, then he's gonna be the one who's gonna keep me on track. So just have people support you, have systems around and support you in that way.
Your trip is waiting for you.
I know Tulum.
So I kind of want to use that, right, right, for the stuff that you, one of the things that I struggle with is that, we go to the seminar, you go to talk to this guru, and then you come back, and then you kind of buy your own silence to deal with it. It's very hard to kind of follow up, just in case when you have any questions. So, like for all the audience right here, what do you feel like, if you can catch Michael or Annie, Joanna, me, myself, and then, one of us is gonna get back with you guys in 1 hour. Can I get a yes?
Yeah.
All right. So Michael, I know, you just mentioned this to me, so if you don't mind mentioning that again, you're working on something that actually can help everybody really the audience.
So, we do a lot with Discord. I have a bunch of different Discords for.
I know it's cool, Discord.
Having from sports card collecting all the way through to NFTs, cryptocurrencies, stock trading. I think we have a couple 100,000 people total in all of our Discords, and we were discussing the other day, so I wanted to put together a Discord for us to start using. So that we can have a simple platform. If you want to just go live and talk to somebody, a lot of times people will just hang out in the voice control area. You could do quick little, handles like this via Discord if you want. And Discord also allows really simplified video share setup. You can use it from your phone, your PC, wherever you want to use it. But it's a really, really good, fun tool. And it's a place where you can put a lot of data. So I have a little poll back there. If you want to post it, it's way in the back. But put your business card in there. And what I'll do is I'll take all those business cards and I'm going to send out invites to everybody to join the Discord. And you can all just have access, and then we'll start kind of growing and expanding it from there. I have some agents domestically in other cities and then internationally who are also interested. It kind of bridges that gap because it's super easy to communicate. But yeah, we went ahead and set up a server for us, so we'll get everybody out of it.
Yeah, so if you want access to Michael, to all the top 5% agents in the company, go ahead and drop your business card in the bowl. If you sign up on Eventbrite, you can also send you an invite. Yeah, but just think about that mastermind. Thank you, Michael, for offering the time. I know maybe this is one thing Tuesday say no to, but no, although he's busy, he's still offering his time and his expertise. So just think about it, right? Us, Michael, we are just wanting a different way from you guys, right? So, if I don't answer, somebody else in the group, somebody with a massive notice is going to answer. Yeah, but go ahead, I think it's about, some Q&A if you have anything, and then, we're gonna wrap this up, but we're gonna have some fun and we have the hour next door at 5 again. Yeah, Q&A guys, anything? Okay, Andrea. Yeah. I'm gonna bring you up a little bit, but let's do the Q&A real quick.
If they know everything. They're incredibly
Oh, we have
smart.
questions.
Okay, Tom, what you got?
But I haven't heard you guys talking about the following tool that you guys use.
Oh,
I love that. Okay, let's do another round follow-up tool. For me, I use Hotbox, I think. May, how do you follow up?
Simply just text my like previous buyers.
So sometimes I have a little business or, generate a lot of this just from referrals. So I do have a list of my previous buyers or previous clients, right? So I gotta set the goal that every Tuesday, I gotta send out a text here and there just to follow up with my previous clients to see if they either interested in more help when it comes to buy and sell real estate, or if they know somebody who can help. And especially during the holidays, for example, we just had the Lunar New Year. I gotta make sure that I gotta tweet or I gotta send out wishes to my, my what we call the sphere of influence, like my friends or my previous client, just so they gonna remember me as a realtor, and that's gonna help me to bring more business and just follow up on the previous clients.
Not bomb is follow up, I think I need to hear that in my group, when you join the group, you must have a bomb video for me, and I do that for all my clients as well, right? It's just a very easy way to set up a text. You should have put, 15, 20-minute video, send it to a text, send it to the email, and the way the bomb make it work, I just make it so easy for people to click on. So if you have, I know we don't get another subscribe, but I highly recommend the bomb. It's gonna generate you, it's gonna keep building that relationship, and it's gonna go really deep.
Yeah, one of the things I do, because I use KB Core a lot, is recording a video just saying hi, just one video, and I have it as a template. So every time I want to follow up, just send that video or record it on the app. I do use something called this magazine that I started using with my past clients. It's Reminder Media, I believe. And I send them quarterly this magazine, and when they see me, they are like, "Oh my God, you're so successful." They just make it very nice where you're like in the front of the magazine. It's not that expensive, and it really keeps you like top of mind. And also it's a nice magazine where they can have on their living room or something, and it's easier to refer your business. So that's a great tool as well.
How many of you are familiar with Brian Buffini? Okay, those of you who don't have your hand up, write that name down, Brian Buffini, because he does the good old classic pop buys. I actually was doing pop buys before I went to his conference, and what I realized is the power of human interaction, right? We do get very virtual, we do get in their face with social media. I love all the videos, I love the leverage of that, but it also comes down to, hey man, I was thinking about you today. There's a little treat for you. If you need a lifesaver, let me know. And we literally do marketing make and takes on our team pretty much every other month, I would say. So we did one in December, we did baking, and we passed out things for people. We dropped off the heroes, teachers. And then as far as like a follow-up, I do use KB4 for follow-up. And our assistant sends out, we do cards to past clients. And then just when it's their anniversary or birthday, just give them personal attention with a text or a phone call. It goes a long way. We have a lot of repeat clients.
So for me, it's KB Core, being relatively new to EXP, that's, I think, a very strong tool to start because they provide you a lot of templates and follow-ups and points of touching prospects and clients. So I think understanding that and integrating that into just the communication side and the follow-up side is very strong, and it's quick and it's easy and it's already there for you. Outside of that, I'm pretty bad about follow-up with leads. I get a lot of people who reach out to me and then I just get busy. So I need to basically create that system for my team so that they can start following up and consuming those leads that I always forget about, and because I get distracted kind of easily.
One thing that I see, but I know people, number one, they have system, and number two, they don't delegate a follow-up, right? It's you and the client. If you ask your system to call, it's not gonna work. Right, so the follow-up, the relationship, you need to do it, yeah, and then you use system to help you with it, yeah, but don't make your system to call your VIP client, it's not gonna work.
And the follow-up down the line, I think one important thing, especially having, wanting and starting to build a team out here at DXP, is you have to have your teammates have a sense of authority on your behalf. They can't just be random people. You need to treat them as equals so that when you do have them follow up with someone who's reached out to you, that person is like, okay, yeah, I know who you are, like, so I've seen you, so, having that equal playing field so that whomever reaches out doesn't always expect that you're gonna be at their beck and call. You need to be able to pass it off and give a sense of authority and education to the people that you're working with.
Love it. Next question.
So you talked about growing your team more the past few years.
Yes.
Is it, because the way the ESP organization goes, it's like you have people that you're sponsoring, so are you referring to growing your team in that way, or growing your team in a way where you have hiring events, listening specialists and things like that?
Both.
Now we have another question.
Okay, so, raise your hand if you're a current team leader, you run a production team. Okay, so raise your hand if you want to be a future team leader. Okay, there you are. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, so to answer your question, I started with making myself successful, number one. In order to be a team leader, you have to have enough production and enough knowledge and enough experience to problem solve pretty much anything that comes at you. Number two, what's really, really important is you have to make the decision. If you're brand new, Casey Littleton, how long have you been a realtor? Shout out, just shout out.
For like 7 months.
Okay, how many agents do you have under you?
Wow.
So she's a brand new rookie, right? Less than 12 months in, and she already has 2 agents under her. So is she growing a team? She is growing a group, a revenue group, right? And she's on my production team. So as a brand new agent, you can start growing your revenue group from day one. It's called third-party edification. So if you're young and new and you're like, I don't even know how to sell a house. Well, you know how to pick a brokerage. That's all that matters. Then you connect with a rock star like Michael and you say, let me introduce you to my sponsor. And then he says, thanks, Aim. And then you edify each other. And what's amazing about third-party edification is it allows rookies to grow while they're learning production. So I learned production, started my revenue group. I had 21 agents in my group. Then I launched my production team. Then I realized, why am I limiting myself to one city? So I launched an expansion team in Austin. So we do a lot of Austin referrals. I'm hoping in the next 12 to 18 months to launch in Dallas. But yes, I hope that answers your question. So team and group.
So I want to elaborate on this a group, how we perform is super flexible. You can come here, you can do a production team, just like Academy, not everybody here. Or you can just, kind of chill and be a long movement, right? But just like it, right? You can still work to the top. You can still become an icon agent, turn up your phone at 6 o'clock and work like that on the weekend, right? Nothing is going to stop you from doing that. So the platform is there for you. Use it however you want it.
Perfect.
I think I'm the most chill agent here.
All right. You also have a question. You also have a question. Come on. Okay, go for it. So here's my feeling on coaches. I think if you're gonna run a business, like in real estate, right? For example, we are all 1099, so we are our own CEO, yes? So if you're gonna be the CEO of your own business, no matter if you're a one-man band or you've got a team like I do in a production group, you need to have your board, right? Who's on your board? If you don't have a CPA right now, you better find a CPA, okay? If you don't have people you're learning from, so when I say coach, I don't mean I'm paying someone $1,000 a month to have them give me homework. Because guess what? I'm not a paper person. I don't want to do their homework. But do I listen to professionals? Do I read books? Absolutely. So my coaches are, and you want to know Jeff and Amanda Weisbier?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if I need guidance, I talk with them, right? A coach doesn't have to be someone that you pay for, guys. But as business owners, you need to have your board in place. So make sure you have people on your board that are basically coaching you to have the most successful business possible. You need to have someone showing you how to do better at social media, someone to show you what to do with your money, Because let me tell you something, in EXP, you start making more money and then you're like, I don't know what to do with it. It happens to me and we learn really quickly. You need to, so if you don't know who to put on your board, talk to your sponsor, talk to someone who has more success than you and start creating it. Do I change it? Absolutely. I change it all the time. You want to have VIP vendor partners. They will help you grow your business. I can't tell you, my vendor partners refer agents to me. Oh, you have to work with Amy. Guess what? Now that's growing my group.
I want to add something real
Yes.
quick as well.
And just want to quickly add on that, but if you just kind of open up and try to learn something new every day if you can, because as an agent, we drive a lot. So if you have your favorite podcast on, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So when you drive, just pull up the podcast and every day you're gonna learn something new. You're gonna know something update about the market and it just keep you going with the new information. And that's how you can, learn more and improve your knowledge when it comes to doing your daily tasks.
It just kind of touched on the question from, one of the cool thing about, the structure that we have here. It's in actually our best interest. We will come mentor you and coach you, to actually become even more successful than I am, right? Because if I can do that, if I can mentor my agent, if I can coach my agent, if I can just help everybody in and out of EXP, automatically, the payback is gonna come later, right? We all shareholder of this company. If I can just help him, he, she, the stock, it's gonna happen the stock price, right? So it really doesn't matter, what revenue share group that you're in, at the end of the day, we are all one big EXP family, right? And I really want to push this culture out, not only inside the company, but outside to our community, to the community. Is that?
Anybody else? One last one?
Thank you.
So, Amy, you said you have 13 agents in your team. How do you manage to get them on board and train them? And also, do you take new agents to your team?
Yes, I take new agents, absolutely. When I met Casey and Maddie, they had less than 3 months experience and not one sale. So yes, but that's the teacher brain in me. So if you don't have that teacher brain, be careful. You don't want to get yourself in a position to set yourself up for failure. So how do I train them and keep them motivated? First of all, I vet them. So I'm very picky who I let on my team. I ask them, what is your expectation for yourself? Right? I don't want people who are, if you're lazy, I'm only going to work 1 day a week. Well, then why would I want you on my team? You're representing the Lampman home team that happens to have my last name in it. Right? That's powerful. Our names on our shirts, on our hats, that's powerful. So I vet them. Number 2, they have to have amazing energy. Energy is crucial. Guys, if you haven't sold one house, but you show up with a smile and you're willing to help, answer questions, you have a team leader who will answer your phone call when you're freaking out. Yes, go. Guys, I don't show buyers anymore. So I literally say, you're going to show up and I can't make a schedule for you. These are 2 of my agents right in front of me, so I'm talking to these ladies. Can't make their schedule, but guess what? I can say, what are your expectations for yourself? Number 1, are you going to meet new people every week? How are you going to do that? Are you going to host open houses every week? Are you going to do new builds every week? Are you make phone calls every week? Are you going to add people to your social media every week? If the answers are yes, then I let you join. But here's the deal. My personal rule is I only let people join my production team that are in my revenue group. And the reason why is because I feel that it's not fair for me and them if they're in a different group with a different sponsor, and then I bring them over to my team and I'm treating them all, and then all of a sudden they're growing, I'm spending all this time on them. This is a business, right? So I will share ideas with you all day long, but to be in my team, you have to be in my group. So I love that.
So, next question. Is everybody ready to go party?
When's happy hour? That's good.